Well,
It's kind of a hurdle. I learned it the hard way.
what's that?
I learned that making sure OBS is a hurdle in the hard way.
Yeah, OBS is... I mean, it's not too bad. It's just using it... You're trying to use an old game.
It's not too much about OBS, but about Crusader.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a bit of mucking around to get it going. Well, if you're tuning in, this hopefully goes to YouTube. This is a game between Krarilotus and Altaruss'. Hopefully I'll put up another game earlier before this one gets uploaded. Where it was CO versus Altaruss' with a different balance. In other words, this is the same balance as that game, except the knights changes are not reverted. So we've got OP knights on this one, but also much more expensive to make. The stables are ridiculously expensive. So we're going to see how this compares with the knights being in there. And see what happens. I've got CO.
A few knights in the Simulacrum game, I think.
Yeah, you got, I think, 4 knights. Well, 4 that I watched were used. I saw you get a few more a bit later. And because in that other game, I was always complaining that I didn't remember what the changes were for all the balances. I've got CO in the chat and the voice chat to tell us what the changes are as well.
Yeah, hopefully this time. You see that assassin almost instantly killed the Slinger. This was one of the reversal of the nerfs we had on assassins. So they are like almost like the vanilla assassins against certain units, like archers, slingers, slaves.
Actually, I watched.
They are weaker against other units.
I watched in that game an assassin come up the hill, where you had an archer and a spearman, and the assassin actually managed to kill both units before continuing on. I kind of felt that might have been a bit...
Because, I mean, even though spear buys a little bit time, the moment assassin touches the archer is dead. Like, it's like 1 to 8 damage difference.
Yeah,
so.
I always kind of felt that kind of was kind of a bit much. But then again, I've always had a different view on the purpose of the assassins in this game to everyone else. That's nothing new. I'm surprised those slaves weren't dying a bit faster. Oops, I wanted to zoom in.
And one of them slipped through, actually.
He shot like 4 shots at them, but without hitting them once. While the other one, Horsearcher, died to the Spearman.
Yeah, he lost his Horsearcher.
Yeah. Stop hitting circle and hit zoom. Thank you. Now that everything's happened, I don't want to zoom in anymore. Is Krarilotus a bit late? Oh no, they're both going a bit late to eco. I felt like you and Altaruss' had a lot more eco, a lot faster than this game is going.
I feel like in our game we had much more weapon economy going earlier into the game.
Yeah, exactly.
We see like the raw eco on the outer area being claimed before that. I mean, which is cheaper to actually build, especially if you have the wood.
It's cheaper to build, but it's long term, not necessarily as beneficial.
Yeah.
See Krarilotus breaking through that wall, as he always does. In your game, did you break through the wall, or did Altaruss' break through his own wall? I think he broke through his own. Oh, you did? Okay.
I know because I did because you were watching, so I wanted to humor you.
I'm gonna put this on a slide.
I know you liked it.
I think it's just smart to do. It's not a big investment, and it can become a big deal if anyone tries to claim that.
It become like a free
corner.
two free stone quarry kills for me. So
yeah, it's if the other person ever claims that corner resources, breaking through that wall can be a huge benefit to trying to raid it. Although in that game, neither of you claimed that stone, so. You know, whatever.
Now we see the first economical difference between Krari and Altaruss'.
I'm just watching the
wheat economy, and the other one went for the weapon economy.
Ah, yeah. I was just watching Krarilotus suicide his slingers onto spears in melee, focusing them on melee rather than actually trying to put them into a fight. Okay, slaves coming up at the at Altaruss' though. That Horsearcher
He
might
wants
be able to help
stop
out.
Altaruss from getting those wood.
I was expecting those woodcutters to do a bit more work, but
And they certainly
I'm kind of disappointed about how little Krarilotus did with that. Although there's that assassin over there that destroyed a farm.
If he like gets the kill on the Horsearcher, actually. No,
Nah, he's
more
not.
concerned
He's
with
not
the-
interested in microing it. I think.
Let's see.
Let's check the difference.
Altaruss is careful.
Alright, Krarilotus does have a few weapons eco now. Let's see, what is that? Blacksmiths. So he's going for maces and regular archers on Krarilotus' side. On the other side we've got archers, a blacksmith, and pole tuners. So he's got spears, lots of spears coming out. I don't see any fletchers, so I'm not sure what he's going for the blacksmith for. We'll find out eventually. He'll eventually go for it, I show. Oh, that, or he's planning on buying leather armor. Yeah, this is his first maces coming into his armory. So what's the changes with the Maceman?
Maceman got 33% more health, so they used to have 15k health, now they have 20, and they have slightly bit more crossbow resistance. As a result of it, they die in 5 crossbow shots instead of 3.
That's a big increase. 5
against crossbowmen,
3 to 5.
like, they
that's
become
big.
the counter, so
Right.
you cannot have only crossbowmen. You need to have some archers mixed into
Yeah.
the group if you
So
want to deal with Maceman.
Right, so that's interesting because kind of the way the buildings kind of progress is you start off, if you start off building one building before each new unit, start off with archers with the Fletcher, and then you go to then you go to crossbows, and then you go to Maceman, which makes sense because from archers you just build the leather workers, and then you get crossbowmen, and then you just have to add blacksmiths, and then all of a sudden you've got maces, which counters the. I think that's a good progression. I like that.
The thing is, Macemen are not only good against crossbowmen, but they are like very good against spearmen. One Maceman is almost as good, strong as a 3 spearmen. So
do the Macemen end up
always
coming
want
out
to kind of
before or after crossbowmen?
usually before. I feel like crossbowmen get trained much later into the game, especially when the metal armored units are around, and especially when like amount of recruits you have is the limitation. For example, in the previous game I played against Altaruss, I actually struggled because I was training too many archers, but they weren't doing much.
Alright, yeah.
Like crossbows have also the quality per unit going
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, when you're trying to recruit as many as you can, you've only got so many workers to turn into units. And when gold stops being an issue, when you've got a lot of gold and a lot of weapons, it starts being, gold transit conversion isn't as important as, I guess, power per unit conversion
Yeah, exactly.
conversion trades. So I mean, I do like that in a sense that the game stops becoming about what's the most gold efficient thing, and it starts becoming about, okay, what's the most unit efficient trade. It adds an interesting dynamic. I'm not sure if that's actually really been balanced for, but we'll see how that goes, I suppose. Lots of archers coming out from Krarilotus. He's got quite a big weapons eco now, though. Not as big as Altaruss, though. Now I'm looking at it. Yeah, no, Altaruss with all those tenors coming out on the side. I also like that last game on this map between you guys, we actually saw almost every single unit in the game.
Let's see. We probably just didn't see Pikeman.
We didn't see Pikeman, and we didn't see Arabian Swordsman.
Yeah, also Arabian Swordsman.
Yeah. And like obviously the battering rams and the siege towers, but they're not much use to those guys anymore.
Yeah.
Well, there never was.
There is actually very interesting use for battering rams.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of makes the game very funny, but we just didn't see it.
Yeah. What's the change?
They take 1/5 of the damage from melee attacks, and they have twice the health. So when you have a battering ram in the middle of your melee army, and you are like in the battle with your enemy melee composition, your battering ram tanks so much that it breaks the it breaks the
So it distracts the damage coming in from their melee units, and so you can do a bit more damage. Interesting. Do they still
like
cost the same?
One of the ways you can answer to like a horde of monks, I feel.
Well, there was a horde of monks in that game that you didn't know how to...
Yeah.
Well, I think you killed them off with fire.
I wish I tried using that.
Are they still the same cost, or have they changed cost?
They cost 5 iron extra
5.
on top of what they already cost.
Iron is a very sought after resource at that point of the game, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, because you need the metal for the weapons.
Though, if they've got that much of an effect, then I think it's justified to make it that expensive.
It's also hard to use, so all's fair, I guess.
Yeah, Krarilotus retreating off Altaruss' hill. Taking a lot of damage down there.
Very big army.
And I like how he split it. He's actually... Oh, no, he's not going to trap him. Thought he was going to trap them between two forces. That would have been very cool.
By the way, in the meantime, at Altaruss' side...
Well, and Krarilotus is pushing out on the other side. Altaruss cannot handle multiple armies. He's regularly said that himself. He just... Although he seems to be doing it.
Yeah, Altaruss has been like... become so much strong that it's actually like nerve-wracking to play against him.
Though he still tries to fight one battle at a time. I would have been tempted to try just run his Maceman up that tower that Krarilotus built, instead of bringing his army across.
That many Macemen, actually, if like properly took the focus, they can even kill the Lord.
You reckon this might even be
there
game?
Are no dogs. Oh no.
Oh, the worst timing. Nah, he split them up too much. He's gonna go for eco damage instead.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the armories, so no real damage there if he gets that. And he's going for the empty one anyway.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, the other one's got like 5 weapons in it, but
so even that is not really one.
I mean, anything hurts, but the one that he got didn't actually destroy any weapons.
Well, unfortunate.
And then there's archers on the bottom are pushing forward as well. Considering how everyone was saying how overpowered knights were, why haven't we seen them?
I feel like they are like biding the time, and this map is one of the less open maps, so the buildings you can raid with the knights are limited. You can raid the wheat farms, and even those can be walled in.
I mean,
and you
Krarilotus...
can raid the second-hand resource spot.
Yeah. I mean, Krarilotus has swordsman out. Why would he get swordsman ahead of knights if the knights are so powerful?
Maybe he doesn't have the eco yet for it.
Can't afford to build the stables,
maybe,
which are
he's being
expensive.
More like cautious too.
Or that, or he knows that we're watching to check on the knights and is deliberately not going to them to prove a point. Which Krarilotus wouldn't do, but still, it's funny to think about.
Krari can like do the still prove a point by like not using knights and winning anyway, in case Altaruss actually goes for knights, which I think he will eventually.
True, that is Krarilotus. To prove that knights, you can defend against knights. That's something he would do. He wouldn't deliberately not use them to prove that they aren't overpowered. Like, well, that they're not needed, but he would beat them without using them to prove a point. If that makes sense. We do have monks coming out now from Altaruss, and we've got our first engineers coming out too. So we should start seeing shields coming out. There they go again, built out the front. Krarilotus also has his first engineers going and building stuff. And there will be shields as well, yep.
Well, the game considers Krari ahead, but I'm not seeing it.
Sorry, the what is? I think it's more.
The greatest Lord ranking.
I think it's more damage. I think the KD is probably more in his favor. And yeah, I think the eco is probably a bit similar. It's pretty similar economy. Yeah. I had somewhere how they calculate the score, but I don't know why my stats aren't working, but I don't really have time to troubleshoot it at the moment. But I set it up. I thought I set it all up. Actually, no, I think I might know what it is. If I tab out for 2 seconds, I could probably get it working. Should I do it? Let's do it. Okay. Hit that button. And then refresh. Okay, no, didn't do. Oh, it did work. Here we go. Alright, so my thing has Krarilotus here as well. KD weighted. Actually, Altaruss has the weighted KD. Krarilotus has the buildings, according to my thing. It's 400 score to 300 score. And it's about a 300 difference. And about equal on the units.
Also the population, probably, right?
Oh, yeah, where's that? Population, yeah, he's got almost 160 workers to 125 for Altaruss. Also, despite the fact that the units are about... Altaruss has so many more units, the weighted value, Krarilotus actually is well ahead.
The European Swordsman.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot more. Well, he doesn't have more Maceman, but he does, yeah, it's the Swordsman, Cold Baluster. And I think monks don't count for much. They probably should count more towards that weighted units than they do.
Let's see now.
That's a lot of units. Are swordsmen strong enough to compete with that amount of units?
I don't think so, because there are so many spearmen.
Yeah.
Even though Maceman do little damage to swordsmen, the spearmen will do the job.
That hurts. That's a big. Oh, we've even got pikes coming out now. That's most of Krarilotus' army. Oh no, he does have that small army on the left side, but we're going towards Altaruss, so on the right side. I think as you're looking at it. But that put Altaruss like 400 points ahead in my score.
Your allies.
And it's almost an unstoppable push at this point.
Yeah.
Krari is getting his another second wave of swordsmen and monks, but
yeah, I don't even think they'll be out there in time. This is going to be huge economy destruction. He should be sleeping his bakeries and getting monks out of that. That way they're already halfway to the enemy.
Yeah, that could be it. I would prefer like getting some dog cages before he actually arrived. Oh, Altaruss was going for the kill.
So what is the deal with the there's way too many Arabian Swordsmen for the kill. He's lost too many.
Yeah, unfortunately.
What's the upgrades?
A lot of killing pits actually.
Yeah, he lost a lot to those killing pits. He lost the granary. Bakeries. Okay, so bakeries aren't too big an issue. You want to get those guys over there and try to destroy some of the weapons buildings. That's the value. Blacksmith workshop going down.
I think he's doing it.
Yeah, he's starting to do it over on the right,
but on the edge.
So what's the update to dog cages? So I knew
their damage increased, like for an insane amount, and now it's actually a
400%.
400% extra damage.
Yeah.
Like an attack dog does more damage than anything, but it has very little health. So if you lure them out, you can actually deal with them easily. But if you like run into those dogs, you are in for a trouble.
Yeah, I mean the other cost of them is the fact that you can only place the building and then you can't recontrol them. So they're placed in one.
Also, you cannot
Can't put
put
them
them down when the enemy is close. So you have to
pre-place them as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Altaruss' shields running away on their own with no units behind them. Krarilotus taking the hill on the other side. They probably won't stay there very long, but... Oh, and the archers die before the shields catch up.
Krari needs the archer and shield backup for that army.
I think that's just his nuisance army on the left there. Sorry, on the right. So I've circled the map around so that we've got Altaruss on the left and Krarilotus on the right.
Regular rotation angle, right?
Sorry? I do it sideways because that way the bases don't really get hidden quite as much. Because the normal thing, like if you go and say look at Krarilotus' base, you can't see those quarries or mines at the top there. And half his ecos up off the top of the screen. So I circle it around so it's sideways so that they don't hide. I mean, if it's sideways, you still don't see a bit of one person's economy on that top hill, but it's a lot less.
The first knight's out from Krari now.
Oh, I do see those.
Look at them slay. So the changes to knights are they were already buffed in the rebalance, but we'll just put the numbers compared to the vanilla. So they have almost double the health, 70% more health, and 2.5 times the damage.
Yeah, but you're still limited by the stables, and with that, the expense of those stables.
Yeah. And because they got buffed so much, we also increased their price in every way.
Yeah.
The stables cost 60 wood, 60 stone, and 600 gold for each, and the knights themselves cost 80 gold. So it's double the cost of a swordsman.
Yeah, and the stables for reference, what 60 stone? If you're making the stone, it's about 5 gold each, right? That was the last I saw.
Yeah, so it's
what 300 gold,
300 gold
plus 60 gold for the wood, plus 600. It's basically 1,000 gold for stables now.
we're like making jokes about like it's almost being more expensive than a cathedral.
It's practically the how expensive the original cathedrals were.
Well, yeah.
I mean, actually, it probably is. I mean, the difference is, cathedrals, 20 stone cheaper, and 150 gold more expensive. That's, I mean, that's a 50 gold. The cathedral's 50 gold more expensive.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like stone, it costs a lot more because there's a lot more opportunity cost to it. Although by this point in the game, you're not really going to use the stone on anything else.
It's almost considered a bad move to sell stone at any point in the game now.
Yeah, that I mean, I see why that was added, but I don't. That's the one thing I dislike. Stone is now just a copy of wood. What siege equipment now costs stone?
Catapults, trebuchets.
That's what's being made.
Stone, and a lot of it.
Okay, Altaruss is making those. Yeah, catapults. There they go. I saw the stone disappear off the stockpile as those huts appeared.
The main thing with stone cost, especially for like siege units, is like you want to make it so that the player with the more map control in the game should have access to the very luxury things like the siege engines, so that when the defender cannot hold forever. Yeah, and
that's a great goals. Snowball feature already for the late game. That's the argument of of Altaruss that really does get me, is that there's already a lot of snowball ability in the late game with the rebalance, with things like that. That volley didn't seem like it did too much. Hitting mostly units. Oh, that disease is going to do a ton of damage. See, and there goes another cow being thrown and not making any disease. Someone told me that that doesn't happen.
It happens, but very rarely. Like,
yeah,
I don't know the exact conditions that it happens, but like,
I'm pretty sure if it lands right on this, like, because each tile, the way the game considers it, each tile is divided into 64 parts, so 8 by 8. And I think if the cow lands on the exact segment that a unit is on, it doesn't do anything. It has to land on a segment that's not currently occupied.
that could be, yeah.
Which means if you stack your units, you can't get cows in there, which is kind of dumb. However, I did notice, I was looking in the, that was a good cow. That was a perfectly
and it was like
cow.
right in the middle of almost a complete stack, so like
exactly.
It's not like 100% consistent.
Yeah. I was looking at the SHC player changelog the other day, and it looks like he's fixed that. I'm pretty sure one of the cow thing, like it said something about the cows.
Oh.
So that I find that interesting.
I mean that mod actually has like so many amazing features. It's a shame with that we cannot use it in combination with all the features we have here. Some of them conflict.
Naturally, all my pings are really high. I think they're a bit higher than normal because I'm having to use Windscribe.
Either Spike or just us.
It's so funny how few people realize that the ping's actually not relevant. Everyone thinks high ping equals bad, which in other games absolutely true.
I'm out of the game.
That's a shame. Yeah, I think I crashed as well.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a lot of things going in the game.
Yeah, that was a great game. I'm kind of disappointed because that was definitely going to YouTube, but it crashed, so it probably won't. That's a shame. Wait, someone was still in the game.
Actually dropped from the game.
Altaruss was still in it. Blank map. Wait, why do I see Altaruss's shield, and if I hover over it, it says computer opponent.